about cognitive development, from spatial awareness to emotional intelligence.
YCIS.
So I chose Deep Trust.
What's deep trust?
Deep trust is what I would call an interpersonal construct built on emotional ties.
Very cool. Well, I'll see you on Sunday, and good luck.
3 days later.
I'm on the South Bund at the TEDx talk, and I'm gonna go in the back gate here, meet up with my guides, and they're gonna take me around, try to find some students, see how they're feeling. I would be super nervous if I was a student, but all right, it's a bit of a zoo in here, but I found my contact. I get a upgraded mask. I've already got a free t-shirt. Ooh, this is nice. Much more comfortable. It breathes better too. The other one's so hot. Got my media badge. I'm gonna jump the queue. It's gonna go right in. I was told that all the kids in primary school learn violin. Check this out. Let's see how this goes.
Next, we welcome to the stage Bronwyn from Year 5.
My name is Bronwyn Nee Haggerty, and I have lived in China for 9 years. I'm a third culture kid. My life has been neither Canada nor Ireland, but in China. 你看，我的名字也是爱家，我爱北京的食物、老地方和人。我需要帮我妈妈、爸爸翻译，因为他们不知道中文。但是最好的是，因为我帮他们翻译，他们付钱给我。我不知道我会在中国几年，但是我没在中国的时候，我知道我还是北京人。我爱北京。Thank you.
Today, I'll be sharing with you a helmet that I made a few months ago. Are you aware that in China, over 7 million delivery drivers take to the roads each day? Every 2.5 days, there is a fatality or injury regarding a delivery driver in Shanghai alone. What can be done to help the delivery drivers notice the dangers? How about a talking helmet? This is actually a reality. Help me save these delivery drivers who are working tirelessly each day and risking their lives just to bring you your meal.
All right, so the kids are done performing. I'm out in the hall checking out all of the displays that they set up. Really cool artwork here, these painted violins. Scariest violin I've ever seen. Lots of environmental projects, sustainability type projects, how we can change the earth.
My name is Zoe from YCYS Year 10.
Tell me what I'm looking at here.
So the Pascal's triangle is a really interesting mathematical formula which consists many sequences and patterns hidden inside. It was discovered in 1261, first in China in the Southern Song dynasty.
I ran into a fan, which I always love. So I'm gonna introduce him. What's your name again?
Henry.
Henry. You studied in the US and Canada.
Yeah, that's fine.
His English is awesome.
All right.
See you around.
Bye.
Sebastian, where are you from?
South Africa.
South Africa, okay. And you're a big time art student? Cool.
So this was my work. Wanted to go a little more personal, and what I did was I looked at the structure of my own personality and who I am.
It kind of almost looks like a ancient hieroglyphics.
Yeah, it
a little
does.
bit.
African art. Since I'm from South Africa, it's part of my heritage.
Sure.
It means a lot to be able to look at it and be like, I finished this.
2 years of his life. So you're at which campus then?
The Tongshan campus.
So where is that exactly?
It's like 30 minutes from Shanghai and 20 minutes from Hangzhou. Yeah, most of the kids in my class are actually dorm room students.
Oh, really?
I've been here for 2 years now.
For 2 years?
Yeah.
那你的中文怎么样?
My Chinese is not that good.
Eventually.
All right, guys, here we are. TEDx time. Are you ready?
Mostly. We had to make some emergency changes.
How do you feel?
I feel fine. I feel fine.
I don't think you chewed your lunch.
I
You
didn't.
just,
I just swallowed.
That's what I saw.
Nervous and excited. I think that I'm going to fall down.
No.
Well, I mean, I feel a little bit nervous. I practiced a lot. I hope it goes well.
I'm nervous but pretty good.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna be there and be like, Joel. Good luck.
Thank you.
We'd like to welcome to the stage Anna, a Year 12 student from YCYS Shanghai, Puxi.
Deep trust is derived from the Chinese word 信任, a trust concept built on emotional ties. However, unlike this Western approach of trust, in China, trust is based on emotional bonding in relationships. And I'd like to end by sharing how each of us can incorporate 信任 into our own lives, which is by focusing on one thing only: being sincere. I hope that once you walk out today, you keep the idea of sincerity in mind when you meet the next person and you use your heart to connect with them. Thank you.
How did it go?
I think it went quite well. I forgot to click for one of my slides, but I think I caught up with that. I think.
Did you look back and see?
No, but my mother was like, "You didn't click," so I found her, and then that saved me.
Okay. I enjoyed the talk as well.
Then, what thoughts were they thinking when they fell? Those were thoughts of you, my love, dear love. The excerpt that we read at the beginning of our presentation was actually written by an RNN, an artificial intelligence. We trained our AI on all 154 of Shakespeare's sonnets.
We believe that stepping into a new era, we are enabled with scientific approaches to creative problems. Thank you.
A few days ago, my Chinese teacher told me about the story of Chang'e flying to the moon. This story epitomizes love and sacrifice, which incidentally are also the pillars of the Ramayana. The story of Ramayana, or that of any other mythology, embodies timeless values and inspires us to broaden our consciousness from me to we. Society and nation will grow sustainably if we inculcate the value systems taught by these mythological treatises. Thank you.
What I thought our paper is a blank brain. They can feel anything in it. I even used famous paintings of famous painters. What could we get from that? Now, when people first saw this picture of mine, they were furious. They say I shouldn't twist the artworks of famous painters into something of my own. Did I do something wrong by drawing this picture? There are no boundaries to art. There are no boundaries to creativity. Your ideas are your own, and nobody can change them. Let's build a role of creation, of ingenuity, of innovation. And together, we can make the impossible possible. Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Lucy.
She's born in a family impacted by HIV, and her parents have died and her grandparents beg in the streets.
And that leads us to Hope Beans, a coffee business that we set up to develop partnerships that have a positive impact on people's lives that are on the edge of society. We've developed business skills that we wouldn't have been able to access in our normal school life.
The first thing we did was find a supplier that would give us coffee beans from Yunnan that were environmentally friendly and ethically sourced.
So Hope Beans profits goes to children who are born with conditions, such as cleft palates, enabling them to have a life-changing surgery.
And if we can learn so much and start having such an impact, surely you can too. The question is, will you?
Well, thank you everyone for coming and joining with us for this TEDx session, where as you can see we have an amazing array of students.
It's all done. That was amazing. It's raining outside. Let me adjust my umbrella. Oh, some really amazing topics. Writing AI that can write poetry and stories. Another kid had an awesome project on game-based learning where he used Minecraft to teach math and other subjects. Other great talks on deep trust. Differences between Western and Eastern cultures, which I find really fascinating. So overall, I mean, this generation, I'm gonna have some catching up to do just to keep up with them. Plus, I still gotta teach Xiaomai. Maybe Xiaomai is gonna start teaching me stuff, I don't know. And I know it's cliche, but those kids are the future of the world, right? And a lot of them have grown up in an international environment. So they're familiar with people from all kinds of different cultures and backgrounds, which I think is just so important these days. And it's kind of why I do what I do. Anyway, it's been a long day. I'm in the rain. I gotta get home. Hope you enjoyed the video, and a special thanks to YCIS to make this possible. As always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Give the video a like, share it around if you like this content, and tell me what kind of place in China you want me to go next, or who you want me to interview. Hope you had as good a time as I did. As always, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. 我是麦克老师，下次再见。
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attendance today. The performance will start shortly.
Dear parents, friends, guests, school members, and students, I'm delighted to announce the opening of the 2022 유종유와 TEDx themed Building a Bright Future for Humanity here in Shanghai.
This is our third event in Shanghai, but we've got a couple of hundred students actually involved in the whole event, from running workshops to the exhibitions, to speaking on stage in the TEDx forums.
Have you ever thought one day robots can help the elderly? Even though I'm 9 years old, I still feel it is very important to share some rules of recycling and using fewer plastic bottles.
We spend a lot of time talking about values and virtues at all of our schools. The key parts of this is to help the students not only learn a set of values that we think are important at the school, but to bring them to life, to reimagine what those values mean for them.
You're all familiar with the carbon cycle, right? You know, the ones that's been repeated for decades onwards, been ignored time and time again. So my speech was about the nitrogen cycle, the human impact of it, the effects of it on the environment, and what we can do to help remediate that. I learned about it a year or two ago in biology class. I thought it was an issue not a lot of people talked about.
Throughout life, there have been many points where I've felt like an outsider.
Back in kindergarten, I was different. Sounded American, but I'm Tanzanian. China's where I'm born in.
What I want to do with my music, I want to reach out to the audience of just people who feel alone, people who are dealing with depression, anxiety. I want to reach out to them and say, it's okay. You can get out of this. You can go through it.
TEDxYouth. It's about providing a voice to students. If there's a student who has a genuinely meaningful emotion or story to share, those are the ones that can inspire and enact meaningful change in the wider community.
Our talk was inspired by the novel The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy. It's a story about twins who were separated at a young age due to many factors. A little like us, I suppose, except we're not twins.
It felt so nice to reconnect with her. I really hope, from listening to our talk, the audience can do that too. Help them reconnect with that person that they used to be close to.
I found it to be one of my responsibilities to tell the world about my story. Because in 2021, my mom had got lymphoma. My story could be the story of others, but I'm here to represent all of them, all of those people who got lymphoma, and to tell them how we can conquer this disease.
The whole purpose of the event was really to enable the children to share their ideas. But more than that, we wanted to also bring community together and discuss and debate and think about the ideas that the students have shared and be inspired. So we've tried to showcase a whole range of different activities, from the electronics and science, all the way through to sustainability, through to the artistic design and creativity. We've got a range of different workshops as well that we're trying to help people to engage with one another and to be interactive, not just coming along and being passive observers and watching, but actually engaging with each other.
So this is the crime scene investigation that the science department is working on.
So we have a fake scenario for a murder crime scene. For example, we have a footprint analysis in the soil, and also DNA extraction and DNA gel electrophoresis.
The things that we learn in the classroom may be just content-based and not applicable, but this shows you what it can actually do.
这是我们第1年参加比赛，今年的比赛就是这个机器把这个球投到这个篮筐里面去得分。这个比赛已经举行了30多年，是一个国际性的比赛。
我们的平均年龄现在只有14、15岁，所以我们其实有更长的时间来积累这些经验。
So this is the YCIS Hackathon 2022, and it essentially involved our Year 10 and 11 students and some Year 7, 8s and 9s, and they were working together in small groups to create solutions to the Sustainable Development Goals. Our students are about to go out into the wide world, and so allowing them to develop these research skills in a less scaffolded framework, I think will help them prepare for whatever it is that they end up doing later in life.
These are journeys that I think our young people need to go on, and our adult learners are still going on together as well, and that we're exploring those things together, that we're building the collaboration and the community. And again, those are such important values to us, that it's not about the individual, it's about us coming together collectively for a better world.
In 30 years, I will be 38 years old.
I think our grandchildren should live on Titan, a moon orbiting Saturn.
Maybe in the year 3000, all the animals will be extinct.
AI has the potential to revolutionize education by providing personalized learning at scale.
There's so many things that you just cannot experience through an iPad, a classroom discussion, a book, or a video. You just have to get your hands dirty.
But each of us develops in our own unique ways, and our journeys are not linear.
In this world, everyone's voice is important, and this isn't just a dream. This is the vision to our future.
Hi everyone, welcome to today's TEDx event. Today not only features exciting speeches, but also booth displays prepared by teachers and students. Now let's go check it out. Actually, this has been my 7th year in YCYS and I'm really excited for today's event. Wow, I see some robotics. It looks very fascinating. I really want to see it. 你好，我想要采访一下关于你们这个项目。所以你们这是一个什么机器呀？
我们这是一个射这个空的机器。
哦，所以你们做这个是有什么技巧吗？就是你们花了多久？
哦，我们一般做一台机器差不多两个月左右，我们分1个月设计，然后剩下的搭建，然后搭建完我们会就是编成程序。程序编完，我们会又给操作手训练的时间，一共差不多是2个月的时间。
所以你们这是有比赛对吗？
对的，我们是每年有1次比赛和1次季后赛。
哦，好的，谢谢。The robot looks like a crocodile. It looks very fun. Ooh, I see another competition over there. I think it's our school's VEX program. I see many of my classmates over there. Let's go ask them. Hi, Robert. Robert, can I ask you some questions?
Hello, yes.
Hi, Robert. So, which year are you in?
I'm in year 9, yes.
So, what are you doing? Like, what is this about?
So, you're looking at VEX, right?
Uh-huh.
We're a group of builders and actually designers that design robots to fit in the VEX robotics competition. It's a worldwide competition that features a different activity or task that our robots have to accomplish every year. And this year, it's actually called Over Under, but soon it's going to be another season. It's called High Stakes.
Can I try it?
Sure, of course.
Thank you. So how do you play this?
So your goal is to push the tribals, these things, into the opponent's cage. This is the knob for adjusting the robot. This is when you're trying to intake the ball, and this is for the end game where you can hang onto the stick.
Wow. So the objective of it is to get these into the opponent's side?
Yes, but next year it's going to be a different game.
Oh, yes. Wow.
This is our last year's design, but this CCA will keep running until, well...
This looks very difficult to operate.
Yes.
How long did you guys take to like practice for this?
For me, it took about a few months, but they're very experienced drivers, so maybe for them a few years. They're much better.
Yeah. Thank you. That was really fun.
Well done, guys. 不是你们在这个做背景的话有点。
Now that was a really great experience. I also hope that I was a part of the VEX team. Wow, I see a lot of people wanting for coffee, and I think there's also food over there. I guess some people are hungry. It's so crowded over here. There's so many people here at the event. Now let's go check. Oh, wait, I also see that there's underwater robotics over there. This is the first time I've seen it. Wow, there are all like kids that wants to try this model. I think this underwater robotics is a really cool idea, and I think it really promotes marine awareness and marine science education for young people like us. So now let's head inside. There's a lot of people here, and I think I will meet many of my classmates inside. Actually, this year I also have a TEDx talk, and I'm quite excited about it, but also I'm very nervous. Wow, I see Yu, our school mascot. Let's go check it out. There are a lot of people taking pictures with it. It's so popular. Wow, I also see the Hope Beans Initiative is a student-led organization that supports Yunnan farmers by selling coffee beans. Let's go interview them. Hi, Minnie and Catherine. Okay. So, what is your organization about?
Our organization is called Hope Beans, and we sell coffee or other coffee products such as beans and ground coffee, for example. And our aim is to donate to charities that are in need.
So what inspired you to be in this organization?
I think as it's a service-based project, it is our, I think we would willing to contribute to the society around us, and all the profits are going to the charity. Yes. So I think it's just to cultivate our core values of service learning and stuff. And it's also because before we became the leaders this year of this coffee project, we were actually a part of it already. So we were already exposed to all the experiences we already before. So we're like, oh, we really like this project. It's very encouraging because we know that we're helping people. So
yes. What would you recommend for us to buy?
My personal favorite is caramel latte. What's yours?
That sounds good.
I would also recommend you guys to try the caramel latte.
Okay, thank you. I'm actually also a part of the Hope Beans, and I think it's a really great organization for students from different YCYW schools to bond together and work together for one thing. Now I see an art gallery. Let's go check it out. There are so many different artworks here, and I think it ranges from ECE to even high school. I think our school really helps in our creative part and innovative, and they've devoted a lot of time and effort in helping us in our interests, and I think that's really great. Wow, there are a lot of students here. And these artworks all look very vibrant and different. I like how our school has so many different perspectives of students. As we all have students from many diverse cultures, I really feel like our school has helped integrating them all into one and help us bond. And I feel like we can all see this through all of the different artworks. Wow, I see this very huge artwork that was just completed. I think they just had a performance just then. This tie-dye also looks very fascinating, and it's so tall. Now I feel like we've all looked through the art gallery. I think we should go back to the exhibition. Actually, this event this year gathered many of the different YCYW schools together. And it is a great opportunity for us to unite as one and to experience.
Welcome to something special. Welcome to TEDx. This TEDx event is part of a global conversation that takes place every day in every corner of the world. In schools, in theaters, in workplaces, even in prisons, people gather to hear the best ideas bubbling up in their communities. More than 3,000 TEDx events are held every year in 170 countries. It's a remarkable thing. TEDx events are self-organized under a license from TED, a non-profit organization devoted to discovering and sharing powerful ideas in the form of TED Talks. It's not TED itself, but your local TEDx team of volunteers that has done all the work to put on today's event, including booking all of the speakers. It's this team's ideas, dedication, and time that have made this possible. We really hope today's program sparks an exciting conversation. This is a day for curiosity and for skepticism, for inspiration and for action. The more you enter into it, the more you will take out. And now, on with the show.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this year's TEDxYouth at YCYW Shanghai. We're really pleased that you came and joined us this afternoon because part of our vision here is to build community, to bring people together to share ideas, inspiration, and dreams. In this world of advanced technology and AI taking over everything, we're really looking at our young people and imagining what kind of world are they growing up in. It's such an uncertain time with technology changing almost daily. But we love seeing our young people embrace new technologies, coming up with new dreams and aspirations for the future. You see things down in the exhibition, from underwater robotics and discovering marine environments to designing new architectural buildings using modern philosophical thought. We've seen students down there immersed in creating medical experiences and involved in sustainable fashion design. We're really inspired by our young people. The theme for this year, Futures, was inspired by that, by looking for people who are desiring to create better futures. And what better than to hear from our own children. So without further ado, let's open the event, and I'm going to hand over to our CEO and Superintendent, Dr. Petty Chen.
Distinguished guests, parents, alumni, and most importantly, our brilliant students. Welcome to this extraordinary TEDx event. We have gathered today for another inspiring occasion, a celebration of innovation, united students from across our entire YCYW community in China. Our students will share their insights on social issues, community projects, and more, pushing the boundaries of what we think might be possible. In addition, we will also present some live music performances, which will provide an artistic dimension for our gathering. Whether you are joining us here in person or tuning in virtually, I'm sure that you are all looking forward to the brilliance that the students will show us today. Participating in this TEDx event offers our students valuable opportunities to develop the skills regarding critical thinking, public speaking, and teamwork. More importantly, our students will learn to articulate their ideas clearly and engage in diverse perspectives. These experiences will help prepare our students to become global leaders with a spirit of service to society. Students from diverse backgrounds will participate in this event. Together, they will explore ideas and solutions to address the complex challenges of our time. The exchange of knowledge and experiences among our schools and students will foster a culture of innovation and mutual growth benefiting our educational community. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our @Future division, which has played a pivotal role in empowering our students and inspiring their innovations, thus preparing our students for future opportunities and challenges. Recent technological advancements are rapidly transforming the world. Our students, with their fresh perspectives and ideas, stand ready to lead us into the new era. I would also like to express my heartfelt gratitude to our parents, to our alumni, and to all our staff for their unwavering support, contributions, and encouragement to our schools and this event. Together, we are actively shaping the future. Let us celebrate the excellence of our students, the power of our cooperation, and the boundless opportunities that lie ahead. Thank you very much. Now let's begin this wonderful TEDx event.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to session 2. This is our live streaming session. So in addition to everyone in the audience, we're also joined by people watching on their smartphones and devices all over the world. To begin this session, I'd like to invite to give a welcome address the Western co-principal from YCYWShanghai Lingang, Clayton Mullins. Let's give him a round of applause.
Good afternoon and welcome to the TEDx event. It's a great joy to have all of you here with us this afternoon. I was chatting to a colleague a little bit earlier, and we were reflecting on when we were younger, whether we would have had the courage or the ability to speak so confidently up here on the stage. And really what we're seeing here is a showcase of the quality of education that we have at YCYW. I hope that you, like me, when the students come up here, that you're able to cheer them on, but think carefully about the words they're saying. I sat through this morning with a number of students, even as young as year 2, speaking, and I was left and filled with a sense of hope, not only in the ability of these young students to be able to speak so confidently, but the messages that they were sharing. So this afternoon, we're going to have, in the next session, students from across our organization, from as far as Beijing down to Hong Kong, Shanghai, Tongxiang, and I hope that you'll welcome them and that you'll hopefully go home having learned something that you can take with you and something that we can apply in our lives beyond this. Thank you.
Our first speaker from YCIS Beijing, Year 6 student, Ayn. Let's give her a round of applause.
Hello, my name is Ayn and I'm 11 years old. I'm a kid traveler and I've been living and traveling to many countries at a young age. I lived 3 years in India, 2 years in South Korea, and currently in China for already 2 years. I also traveled to many other countries too. My mom always shouts, "Why did you bring these stuff?" Well, moms sometimes don't get their kids because we have a reason why we pack this. So today, I would like to share what's in my backpack while living and traveling abroad as a child. So, first, I have my teddy bear. In a new place, it could be scary at first, and you might feel lonely. Like when I first came to Beijing, I was scared, and I knew nothing about that place. But with my teddy bear, it impacted me by giving me courage and bravery. Next, I have my notebook. In a new place, you could get new cool knowledge, like different cuisine, tradition, and art. So I would like to note them on my notebook because they are a unique learning experience. Next, I have my spoon. I personally think the most important thing about traveling is eating. So I bring my spoon so that I could be ready to eat anything unique, even though I don't like it, making me open-minded to new food and tradition. Fourth, I have my bracelet making set. With my bracelet making set, I can make friendship bracelets, helping me connect with local friends. It's not only fun, but a connection. And last, I have empty space. In new places, you can get new cool souvenirs like confidence and self-esteem. According to the survey from the Student and Youth Travel Association, 69% of the over 1,500 teachers responded that traveling increases independence and confidence for students. So I would need space for them in my bag too. That is why I have empty space. Usually, adults pack phones, ticket, money, and clothes in their bags. But I think we should pack things like courage, knowledge, open-mindedness, and connections. So that is why remember to pack your mind while living and traveling abroad. Thank you.
Well, folks, if you didn't book your summer vacation tickets yet, I'm sure that talk got you thinking about where you're going to go and what you're going to pack. Our next speaker is a Year 8 student from YCIS Shanghai Puxi. Ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause for Leo.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Leo. So right now, let me paint a vivid picture for you. Ready? Then let's go. Imagine a world where the average person checks their smartphones 96 times a day. That's right, 96 times. It's a staggering number, isn't it? It's even more than the number of push-ups I can do in the gym. So, in an ever-growing digital age, where we spend most of our time on our phones than looking at each other, for sure that the technology has taken over our daily lives. And I believe that it was hard for anyone to live without their smartphones. Next, let's take it a step further. Every day, the typical American dedicates nearly 6 hours to their mobile devices. It's crucial to explore the global landscape as well. According to another survey, the number of the smartphone users worldwide has nearly doubled since 2012, reaching over 4.9 billion people this year. This shocking figure highlights the ever-present smartphones in the modern society. While this widespread use of digital devices has had a profound impact on people's lives, it has also raised concerns about how much we rely on our smartphones. There's a paradox lying in the digital revolution. while we are more connected than ever before, we are also experiencing a disconnect from real human interaction. The rise of technology has transformed the way we communicate, work, and socialize. But at what cost? We've sacrificed meaningful connections for the sake of convenience and efficiency. Upon the question I had on this global issue, I decided to create posters and distribute them throughout my community, urging others to consider the consequences of our excessive device usage. These posters are like red flags raised for people to realize their overusage of device. For me, my screen usage actually dropped a lot. Last week, my screen usage was about 4 hours per day. But this week, it dipped to 2 hours. I realized that somehow I balanced my screen time through having tangible connections with others, like having face-to-face conversations with them and engaging in offline activities. Just last week, I connected with my teachers and classmates on their thoughts about my idea for making a real connection. They said that they particularly appreciated my idea for not completely avoiding the use of technology, but instead promoting a balanced approach. Finding a harmonious balance between the digital interactions and unplugged moments is crucial for maintaining a healthy relationship with technology. So, as we navigate through these digital wellnesses, it's essential to pause and reflect on our quality of our connections. Now think about your phone usage. How many hours are you merely scrolling through feeds or liking posts? Are you truly engaging with one another? It's a question worth pondering. Thank you.
Thank you, Leo. You know, Leo brought that talk to me a few months ago, and I told him it's not enough to just research this. You have to make a change in our community. And we're looking forward to Leo continuing his role as a leader, fighting for this issue and many others. Our next speaker from YCIS Hong Kong, Year 10 student, Donald. Let's please give him a round of applause.
Wow, this is more people than I expected. Welcome, everyone. Okay, I would like to start off by asking you all one question. That is, how are you showing up today? Well, I know you're all physically here. However, where's your mind? And are you really present right now? Well, last month, I had the opportunity to discuss this topic with MIT thought leader, Mr. Peter Singge, the lovely gentleman in the middle of that photo, alongside 200 educators from local and international schools across Hong Kong. Now, you're probably wondering why some principals, teachers, and NGO representatives all gathered in this assembly hall and listened to this 15-year-old from Yucheng International School speak. Well, that is because educators both within Hong Kong and abroad have realized that by listening to the youth, like myself, and their lived experiences is vitally needed to tackle this problem of stress before exams, especially amongst teens. Okay, now let's revisit this question of how are we showing up today. This brings me to a case study, which Ms. Meta Miriam Bowl has once said, who works in the forefront of trying to tackle this issue alongside Mr. Peter Singge. So it says, the US reported historically high rates of depression, anxiety, and mental distress among teenagers. Now this has escalated to becoming a global issue and is calling for all of our attention. Well, to understand this, we need to know what is causing the pressure for the youth today. Well, to begin with, it is the continuous testings and exams, as we're all trying to compete for limited spaces in prestigious institutions. Also, we can have a brighter future. Now, what does this create? To put it simply, it creates a domino effect. To elaborate on that point, it starts by causing disruptions to sleep, then an imbalance of free time, and ultimately an over-reliance on digital technology. So to answer this question, every day I am showing up to school physically alongside with my peers. However, as you can all probably guess, nobody's mentally, nor physically, nor emotionally showing up very well. This is such a problem in Hong Kong. That is why over 200 educators gathered in May to raise awareness of this issue to other educators and the youth, like myself. This is where Mr. Peter Singay and Ms. Meta Miriam Bowles' Compassionate Systems Thinking Tools comes in. Okay, so what the Compassionate Systems Thinking Tool is, as its name suggests, is a set of tools that allow you to understand the science of well-being, our sense of connectedness to the present, and get a better grasp of the importance of compassion to ourselves and the world, those around us. Okay, and after being exposed to the compassionate systems, it has allowed me to realize if I wanted to see change in the community, I had to start by myself. Okay, now this brings me to the iceberg model, one of the tools that resonates with me the best. So this tool basically allows you to examine an event, which as a metaphor is what's visible above the ice-cold waters. And also acknowledge that we often overlook that there's a lot of things, a big chunk of ice that hides under the surface. Now, these include patterns, behaviors, structures, and mental models that lurk beneath the surface to help produce the event. Let's try to apply this to solving mental health and addressing mental health. So we'll be able to look beyond the surface and understand the deeper layers of mental health problems. So let's zoom in on the tip of the iceberg. What can we see? Let's try to apply it to myself. These are anxiety attacks. These are depressive episodes or moments of intense stress. Now, lurking beneath the surface are patterns and trends. These are basically recurring behaviors in our lives. Now, these include stress for exams, staying up late to study, or feelings of inadequacy when you don't get the score you want. And understanding these will be able to allow you to know that there are actually underlying structures. So what are underlying structures? They're basically frameworks that shape our patterns and behaviors. Let's apply this to tests. Well, these are societal norms, educational pressures, and obviously family expectations. At the very base are mental models, which are our deeply held beliefs and assumptions. These include, I must reach the expectations of my parents, or as a young person, I feel my whole future is dependent on how I perform in exams. Okay, now it's time to revisit this question of how are you showing up today? I'll try to answer this. By implementing the compassionate systems thinking tools, we can increase self-awareness and better understand ways which I can show up. This doesn't only apply to me, this can apply to every single one of you here. I'd like to end off with a little fun analogy. Just like when there's a decrease in cabin pressure on a plane, you're always advised to put on the mask for yourself before you try to help those around us. I believe the same concept applies when you want to see wholeness and bring change to the communities around you. You always have to start by bettering and improving yourself. Okay, now hopefully you all have a question to how are you showing up today. This will be the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Donald, for that thorough overview of the Compassionate Systems Framework. Our next speaker today is a Year 11 student from YCIS Beijing. Let's give a round of applause for Avneet.
Imagine two pots, one earthen pot and one brass pot. Water is to be served from these two pots, where water from the earthen pot will only be consumed by people belonging to a higher caste. Water from the brass pot will only be consumed by people belonging to a lower caste. You don't see this kind of difference anywhere but in a country where tradition and culture are so diverse, where 1,000+ languages are spoken around the nation, and where festivals like Eid to Lohri and Pongal to Dussehra are all celebrated. India. Namaste everyone, my name is Avneet and I have been living in China from the past 10 years. Not having lived in India long enough to understand what the caste system really meant, I became interested in this topic when the news media started to highlight the different castes. From there, I learned that Hindus are divided into rigid hierarchical groups. This is based on their karma and dharma. While karma are the good and the bad deeds that one commits, dharma is one's life duty. The hierarchy is as follows, with Brahmins at the top, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. As you can see from the diagram behind me, the Dalits are separated from this caste hierarchy, and they are often referred to as the untouchables. Coming back to the example from the beginning, where does the water in those two pots come from? It's very likely that a water bearer carried the water from the source to the people. Not to mention, but the water bearer will most likely also belong to a lower caste. Wait, if he or she is of a lower caste, how does the upper caste drink that water? Isn't that untouchable and impure? That's the twist. In the Manusmriti, the water bearers are an exception. When I first researched about the caste system in India, there was a clear question raising inside my mind, and I'm pretty sure you're wondering the same too. What exactly does untouchability mean? With roots tangled deep into the cultural and historical aspects, untouchability has been traditionalized well before the 100 BC. It states that a person was born into this caste because of their deeds from their previous lives. By keeping this practice with us in modern lives, we hear many stories of rape, violence, oppression, and in extreme cases, even death. These are the kind of stories I first read about when I researched the caste system myself. And today, I want to share one of those stories that I read on one of the platforms, The Conversation. There once was a lady named Sima, and she used to sell samosas as a local street food vendor. Her customers used to enjoy the snack until one day they found that she was so-called polluting the environment. Was she any different from the people around her? Did she look differently? To both these questions, the answer is no. It was only that she was a Dalit and considered an untouchable. With this, we know that in India, more than 200 million people are considered as Dalits, and violence and oppression is simply not the reason to ignore them. They are humans too, and most importantly, have the same rights as anyone else. I don't know if any one of you sitting here today can relate to the caste system or not, but I still want you to think of this one question. Should we continue to address people as untouchables even after the government itself has abolished this law? I'm the one to decide that, but I do have an opinion that I would like to share. I believe that the government can do more than simply abolishing this practice, because that will not help change 1.4 billion people's mindset. Instead, educational programs can be offered to students starting from a young age, where they can learn about the different castes and be more open-minded and embrace the differences in their communities. Though a long-term solution, but I feel that this is a step that the government can and should take to stop the violence and hate towards the Dalits. I'm here today because I hope that one day a 9-year-old child from the Dalit caste wouldn't be so brutally beaten to death by his own teacher from drinking from a pot of water that was only meant for the higher castes. Mind you, that this was one day before India's 75th independence, a proud day for all Indians. As Guru Nanak once said, "I'm neither a child, a young man, nor an ancient, nor am of any caste." Thank you.
Avni, thank you for your passionate, heartfelt words. I think we can all reflect on the importance of that issue that you've shared with us. Our next speaker is from YCIS Shanghai Puxi. She's a year 9 student. Her name is Phoebe. Let's give her a round of applause.
Yup, that's me. My legs are elephant trunks. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for that metaphor. Hi, I'm Phoebe, and here's my story. I was 7 when told by my very own parents that my thighs were too big. I was 10 when I completely cut junk food off my diet. I was 13, and for 2 weeks I only ate salad for lunch and dinner. At that time, I knew the feeling, but not the word. I know now. Body negativity. Body negativity refers to feeling dissatisfied with one's body and appearance. It put my body in all kinds of unnatural, even immoral situations, hurting me from 7 until now. Today, I'd like to put you in my shoes to see how my perception of my body changed and improved throughout the years. Like any other kid on the surface, I had a happy childhood. That was, however, far from the truth. I was Asian. Stereotypically, some Asian parents were known to shame their children for their food consumption or body. Unfortunately, that stereotype applied to my family. My parents, uncles, and auntie, and even my own ayi would shame me for the chubbiness of my thighs. The sarcastic phrase of "your thighs are quite chubby for your age" intensified to the direct instruction of "you need to lose weight." At that time, I was 7. In 2020, the rise of K-pop reminded 10-year-old me of my not-so-slim figure. Their white, skinny legs made me feel inadequate, fat, and simply ugly. Fast forward to the summer of 2023. A sudden weight gain made me swing to the absolute extreme. For 2 weeks, I drank disgusting celery, ginger, and cucumber detox juice, ate salad for lunch and dinner, and exercised every single day. Within 2 weeks, I lost 3 kg. But the consequence? I was hungry, I was feeble, I was weak, I was depressed. This needed to stop. That was one of the lowest points of my life. That was when my depressed pursuit of joy screamed in agony. That was when I knew I needed help. So last year, I started my healing journey, and here's what I learned. Treat your body like a vulnerable child. Your body is not a machine that you develop into whatever shape or form in order to fit in society's standards of beauty. Your body is a delicate child who gets hungry, who gets overworked, and therefore needs a mother's care. And every one of you in the audience is a mom or dad to your body, your delicate child. If you nourish and celebrate your body, you are giving it strength to help you carry the groceries, help take you on a walk, and do so many amazing things. My perception of my body changed throughout the years, from hatred to acceptance, and finally to love. And I can proudly say that I'm winning my battle. If I can do so, you can too. This year, I realized the importance of spreading my experience and wisdom with my classmates. Thus, I collaborated with my teacher and did a class that covers topics like affirmations, listening to your body, and the unrealistic pictures on social media. I want every one of you to walk through those doors with a smile that radiates with energy, with courage, and with confidence. Treat your body like a vulnerable child. Be your body's parent again.
Phoebe, thank you for your vulnerability, your honesty, and your bravery in giving that talk. Next up, we have one of our favorites coming back for another TED Talk. I think this is going to be a trilogy. From YCYWShanghai Shanghai Lingang, IG1 level student James. Let's give him a round of applause.
Shakespeare understood humanity. He understood our pride, our struggles, our vices, and he turned these elements into timeless works of literature. And so, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the King of Scotland, Macbeth. If it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with this surcease success, that this blow may be the be-all and end-all here. But upon this bank and shoal of time, will jump the life to come. But in these cases, there is still judgment here, that we but teach bloody instructions, that which, being taught, return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of the poisoned chalice back to our own lips. If this the end all and be all, then let's just get this over with. Cannot stall, cannot fall, gotta get that job done quick. Assassination's great, risk gonna waive a single consequence. I just might risk the life to come along with the providence. What the effect of all this is violence. Better teach them kids the same to we gotta come up bench. Justice for the challenge. We poison back to our lips, and in day we bring out more. Just 2 times over, but I'm the one with the blade. Talking to a brother, never thought he's too fast. Although he's above my status in almost everywhere, I shouldn't be considering advancing on my jealousy, as he's trusting me, a humble king. An influencer of the age, 1,000 watching every stream. Like a newborn baby, universally adored. That even age pleading for his safety from us waging war. And all and be all, then let's just get this over with. Cannot stall, cannot fall, gotta get the job done quick. Assassination's grip, we're just gonna waive a single consequence. I just might skip the life to come along. 1, 2, 3, 4, but the effect of all this is violence. Finna teach up kids the same till we get our comeuppance. We poison back to our lips, and in there we bring out more cruelty, with madness. Action-free reactions of madness to instability, and not bloody barbarity. The laws that govern anarchy, leads the slips on and envision is to infinity. Lead to foul deeds against generosity. Strong ambition, intentions and biggie percent. Automatize yourself, simplified to selfishness. Small incision caused by one act of hostility. Murdering for authority. Only police the one thing. Watching all them people, they just walking down the block. Look at me the wrong way, my back gon' keep a chop. Left for England, family departed. Yeah, going both ways. Duffy ain't gon' see it coming. I ain't finna leave a trace. Tryna keep it in the blood, putting Bangor off the map. You impressed at how it's run, silent souls will fight back. 3 witches told me that I won't see defeat until the sun born an operation leads the army of the trees. Butcher the Scots made a turn in the dark days. The murky's ops, body drenched in his brilliant rain. Command an army, all avenge, I collect the pain. I tell him march, 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 tell him march, march. Everybody come say march, march, march. Yo, I finna march, march, march. Yeah, I tell him march. I'm finna march, I tell him march. I tell him march. Every single person say march. 3, 2, 1, march. March. The moral of the story is this: unchecked ambition leads to violence and destruction. And the moral of being human is this: don't hurt each other. The consequences ain't worth the risk. Thank you.
I think James deserves another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. The passion, the talent, Shakespeare, hip-hop, literary analysis. Have you ever heard a better TEDx talk? I mean, just beautiful. Our next talker from YCYWS Tongxiang, a grade 8 student. Let's keep her energy going for her. Let's introduce Emma to the stage.
Hello everyone, my name is Emma DeUlis, and today I'll be talking about who says I need to act like this? This just isn't who I am. All right, let's start over again, properly this time. Hello everyone, my name is Emma DeUlis, and today I'll be talking about the injustice that runs unnoticed, the unescapable stereotyping caused by prejudice. Did I fool you there when I walked in? The exact typical shy girl. Apologies if I accidentally rolled my eyes out loud. Let me just put something straight. I don't like it. Actually, I hate it when people assume that I'm naturally shy because I'm a girl and wear glasses. You've probably seen me walking around with a book before, but how many of you have seen me fire an arrow and hit bullseye? Or drive a mini go-kart, nearly crash, and just laugh it off and hit the gas even harder? I'm sorry, did you not expect that because I'm a short, harmless little girl? Now, please don't get offended. I don't exactly mean you. I'm trying to address the invisible elephant in the room. It actually is invisible for you, see? Well, I mean, you don't see since it's invisible and all. But what I'm trying to say is there are so many people in this world. It's inevitable that there is a small percentage of the population, maybe even more than half, that thinks in this stereotypical way. Their minds clouded by the prejudice dating way back to our ancestors. Ancestors! What were you thinking? Ugh. When I first transferred to my previous school, I was actually quite extroverted. I was eager to make friends with the students there. But as soon as I stepped into the room, I decided that I preferred to remain silent, which isn't a big deal for me now, but you've got to keep in mind that I was a jumpy second grader who still thought she was a first grader. So what caused 7-year-old me to remain silent? Can anyone guess? It was the fact that every single eye in the room was staring at me. And later on, when I became friends with the students there, I asked them why everyone stared at the first day. They told me that everyone heard there was a foreigner joining the class, and everyone was so excited to see the legendary blonde hair and sky blue eyes, which you can clearly see I do not have. I can say with confidence that these stereotypes that some people hold so high are useless, harmful even. I'll say it directly. When we stereotype someone, we are refusing to see them as the complex and diverse person they are. While stereotypes might offer a convenient way to size someone up, this can hurt them, and it will also narrow our perspective. Imagine this. An old person walks up to you and says, "All teenagers are rebels, including you." because you hummed a little melody on the bus ride that annoyed them? What if you're blonde and the school bully says all blondes are unintelligent? What if you're Asian and just happen to fail a math test and someone scoffs at your test paper and says all Asians are good at maths, so why aren't you good at maths? Not so nice, is it? Let's go back to that elephant. This is how you saw it before I told you about the harms of stereotyping. And this is how you see it now that you know. The elephant in the room, invisible to who doesn't know, crystal clear to who sees it. I hope today that when you walk out of this room, you can try not to ignore the elephant. The elephant needs friends too. Maybe call up the quiet kid. They might just be the best football player you've ever seen. But stereotypes isn't the only elephant here. There's way too many for me to put into one speech only. But for now, let's just focus on the elephant that wants to wear both skirts and shorts. Who knows? Maybe he'll introduce us to one of his friends that is also having trouble. Thank you.
Thank you, Emma. That was a really thoughtful take that gave us a chance to reflect on stereotypes and our own assumptions. Our next speaker from YCYS Shanghai Puxi, a Year 9 student. Let's give a big round of applause to Jessica.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jessica Hare. I'm sure everyone here has heard of the stereotype that people with mixed Western and Asian backgrounds are naturally more beautiful. However, looking good isn't as easy as it seems. I mean, we're more than just a pretty face. I'm a unique blend of two vibrant cultures, Australia and China. In Chinese, I'm a 混血儿, translated as mixed blood. However, many professors from MIT refer to it as mixed race or biracial. Today, I invite you to join me on a journey. Buckle your seatbelts as we ride through the doors that separates us from a world of possibilities. Have you been misunderstood based solely on your appearance? This is my Asian mom, who's in the audience today. Hi, Mom. This is a story of when people don't realize I'm actually Chinese. I remember an incident when I was on a flight, watching the Chinese flight attendant walk around. As she approached me, asking what drink I wanted, I noticed a puzzled expression cross her face. Her brows rose in confusion as she struggled to find the right words, however, determined to approach me in English. To her surprise, I responded fluently in Chinese. The shock, followed by relief that spread across her face, was truly memorable. Have you ever felt like you belong to a culture but never truly a part of it? This is my Western dad, who's also in the audience today. This story is a disconnection from my Western culture. As to Australia, while they may speak English there, the Australian dialect can be quite foreign to an untrained ear. It happened when I was in 4th grade with an Australian teacher. One day, she noticed a rash of red spots on my arm and exclaimed, "Oh no, Jessica, did you get bitten by mozzies?" I stared at her in total bewilderment, wondering what on earth she was talking about. Mozzies? She then quickly clarified, "Mosquitoes, Jessica, mosquitoes." Growing up in China, I've always felt a stronger connection to the Chinese side of my identity. So this is me from my first day of school. Trust me, I felt a lot happier than I may have looked. I have been a student at YCYS,
an international school that has allowed me to balance the two sides of my cultural heritage. The curriculum celebrates both Chinese and Western cultures, providing me with a well understanding of my dual identity. However, I've often wondered how my life may have differed if I had grown up in Australia. It is at these times when I start to wonder whether people mixed race like me share similar pathways. So, I conducted a survey which targeted 9 to 22 years olds who each have one parent from a Western culture and one from an Asian culture. I was surprised to receive over 50 responses. With results like, I realized over 90% of people made assumptions about their looks and are told they're more beautiful. I realized a solid 82% felt a greater connection to the culture they grew up in. And finally, 92% were interested in basing their identities further and meeting more culturally similar people. Some quoted their experiences being mixed race, like their lives being an eye-opening experience. It's great as you get to experience the best of both worlds, and why have one race when you can have two? However, there was one quote that deeply resonated with me. Someone said, people often ask if I'm from Xinjiang. Like, I've been asked that so many times too. This survey brought hidden connections to the surface. I realized all the universal voices that are hidden, buried in a single mind. My results highlighted that we do in fact share experiences, so we should be the bridge, taking the initiative to reach out to others. In just 4 years' time, I will graduate from YCYS and perhaps study at a university in Australia. I am really looking forward to discovering the other half of my heart and culture. So I say to everyone, we should live courageously and embrace our authentic selves. Start today. Start by digging into your past like I did. Start by connecting with people just like you. Each and every identity, it's unique, it's special, it's beautiful. This could be your journey, one that never truly ends, but it's never too late to start. Just ask yourself, do you truly know who you are? Thank you.
As a father of two mixed-race children, I really appreciate that Jessica is willing to honor her unique identity and share that with our community. Our last three speakers are definitely the best dressed speakers for today. I'd like to welcome from YCYS Shanghai Pudong, Felix, Vivian, and Zoe. Let's give them a round of applause.
Do you like our outfits? Hello. How many of you look at tags when buying clothes?
Tags tell us what clothes are made of, where they were made, how to wash them, and more.
They tell us the story of each garment.
We are a group of Year 8 students at YCS Shanghai Pudong.
Now, we'd like you to take a look around and notice the clothes we are each wearing. Did you know that the simple decision each of us makes about what to wear actually impacts our world?
We've been exploring this issue so our sustainable style unit on the impact of fast fashion.
But firstly, what is fast fashion? Fast fashion is inexpensive clothing produced rapidly by mass market retailers.
I love a great sale. Lower prices means more people can afford it, and I can buy more clothes. But there are so many problems with fast fashion.
The speed at which we produce, buy, and throw away clothes is producing more trash than we've ever seen in history.
Every second, one garbage truck of clothes is burned or dumped into a landfill.
Every hour, the amount of clothes we throw away is enough to fill 1.5 Empire State Buildings. In 2019, us humans threw away 82.7 billion kilograms of clothes. That's enough to fill all of Sydney Harbor. Fast forward to 2023, we've almost doubled that amount.
Fast fashion does help grow the economy. It provides people with jobs and, obviously, clothes.
While this is true, working conditions for the clothing industry workers are terrible.
Many of these workers are grossly underpaid, from the cotton farmers to the sewing machine workers, barely able to sustain their families despite huge profit margins by the corporations.
Even more harmful are the toxic chemical used, pesticides when farming, cotton and dyes which pollute the waterways, not to mention the microplastics that shed daily off every synthetic fabric.
There's also the lack of safety regulations in factories of palms. Many people are injured and sometimes killed due to unregulated machinery.
One textile factory in Bangladesh, the Rana Plaza, collapsed, killing 2,000 workers.
That's awful. We must do better and demand better. As consumers, we have the power. We must educate ourselves about the companies we buy from and use that information and our moral compass to do better in our everyday decisions on what to buy, what to wear, and what to toss.
There are some innovative companies that turn plastic trash and turn them into fabric, which can then be used to make bags, shoes, and even clothes.
This inspired us to think of trash as a valuable resource. We discard so many things. Takeout bags, packaging from Taobao deliveries, toilet paper tube, single-use food container. The list goes on and on. Most people think it serves its purpose, throw it out. But is that really the end?
In our art classes, we chose to hit pause and rethink all of that. We found the hidden potential in things typically destined for the landfill, and we made clothes out of them. High fashion statements that say something, because after all, what we wear should make a statement about who we are, what we love, and what we value.
Trash was the only thing our teacher loved to use. All of a sudden, people are fighting for the shiny pizza envelopes, which keep the pizza warm. Because who wouldn't want a space-age shiny pizza foam dress?
Making clothes out of trash was not just a lesson in sustainability, but also an exercise in creativity, finding out how to turn something that, quite literally, looks like trash into something beautiful has not been easy.
But our goal was more than to just turn something distasteful into something lovely. There are deeper layers of meaning here.
When you look at the model showcasing the clothes that made out of trash, we hope you'll reflect with us.
We want you to look at the fast fashion clothes rack and the clothes in your own closet in a different light. Imagine the resources and sacrifices that went into making every single garment. The water, the labor, the dangers, the dreams, the fuel, the pollution, the future landfill space, the microplastics.
We hope you can find the hidden potential in trash. Next time when you throw something away, just pause. Could you find another use for it? We want to highlight the importance of creativity in this fight for more sustainable solutions. From new companies and designers like Taobao to Patagonia, to corporate juggernauts like Nike, who are quickly changing their practices. We're inspired by the possibilities of innovation and want to build a more sustainable fashion industry in the future.
And we hope all of us will become more responsible consumers.
Next time, whenever you buy clothes,
ask yourself this question.
How does what we choose to wear impact the world?
Okay.
Now we'd like to welcome our fellow Year 8 students who are going to be showcasing their amazing, unique designs.
Please put your hands together for the Sustainable Style Fashion Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Year 8 YCYS Pudong Sustainable Style Fashion Show. One more round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. YCYS Pudong Year 8 Sustainable Style Fashion Show. Imagine that some of you who sat down for a TEDx show did not know you're going to be lucky enough to see a professional style fashion show at the end. So we kept that surprise for you. This is the end of session 2. Let's give one last round of applause for all of our speakers. I've been your host, Jed Friedman. Thank you very much. We'll have a half an hour break and we'll be starting session 3 in a half an hour's time. Thank you very much for coming.